So let's start today's class by coming into a comfortable seated position. You're seated in a chair, you're coming back to the back of the chair with your back up firmly planted. If you're coming down onto the ground, maybe you're coming into a crisscross applesauce. Maybe you're sending your legs long. Maybe you're adding a block or a pillow under your hips, letting your pelvis turn just a little bit slightly forward. As we settle in, we'll allow our hands to rest on our laps or beside our bodies. The shoulders will start to come down the spine. We'll start to allow our breathing to follow a natural but calm flow. Breathing in through the nose or mouth, whatever feels available. And then slowly releasing the air out. No specific pattern, no specific rhythm. It's whatever your lungs are feeling like today. As we settle in, we'll start to begin to notice how our body is feeling in this moment. Not noticing how it felt yesterday or even the day before, or even earlier this morning. Instead, focusing on how it feels right now. Noticing maybe the temperature, maybe your hands or feet feel chilly. Or maybe you're bundled up in a nice warm sweater. Begin to notice those external sensations of your body. Maybe even where your body is in space. Where your body is relative to the props, the chair, the floor, anything around you. And then as we start to turn inward, we'll notice the physical sensations of the body. Maybe it's hunger or feeling full. Maybe it's achy or tired or energetic. And just as we pay attention to those minute physical details, turn into the mental and emotional details for just a moment. Checking in to see how you're doing in this moment in those areas. Not offering those thoughts judgment, but instead just a little bit of space, a little bit of a moment to acknowledge. And then we'll begin to let that go. Letting it fade from our mind. We often think we know. Our human minds even love to know. Our minds love to solve problems and to figure things out. And if something feels out of place, our mind tries to think itself into peace. Once the mind thinks it knows, it's amazing how quickly the universe shows us we really can't know anything but the present moment. We think we know people around us. We even think we know how a situation will work out. We think we know where we belong. But if meditation has taught me anything, it's simply that I know nothing at all. And in this, there is freedom. So as we take just a few more of those natural breaths, those breaths that feel like just flowing into your breath, bring to mind something that you think you know for certain. And as you breathe, begin to contemplate that maybe you don't really know anything about that thing. Notice how that feels throughout your body. Maybe even start to find a moment of acceptance. It's just like with our breath today, not forcing it or changing it or regulating it, but instead letting it flow from one breath to the next, one present moment to the next. Because that's all we know is this moment right now. Wonderful job. We'll go ahead, start to come back into this present moment, leaving what we know or think we know behind us for the next hour. Trying to set a goal maybe or an intention to allow ourselves to be present in each moment throughout this flow and practice today. And then take a moment to offer yourself some gratitude. Because without knowing what the day will bring, you got up this morning, you ran errands and did the things you needed to do, so that now you can settle in and relax in comfort, starting right this very moment. As you're ready, start to wiggle fingers and toes. We'll flutter the eyes open, and we'll start to add some gentle movement into our practice. So let's, if you're on the chair, come up to the edge of your seat, and we'll take a butterfly pose to start today's class. So we'll let the soles of the feet come together, the knees gently start to open up. If you're in the chair, you can keep the feet on the floor, maybe bring a prop underneath them so that they can come up a little closer to your hips if that's available in your body, or something that would feel good. And then if you're on the floor, you're welcome to maybe bring a pillow or block under the knees. Again, this is our first opening here. We don't want it to feel intense. We're just simply starting to warm the body up. Right, and we don't know how it's going to feel as we move it. So paying attention, listening to the clues of your body, and choosing what to do with authenticity in each moment. Now you can keep your spine straight if that feels good for you, or maybe you begin to walk your hands maybe down your legs or out in front of you, and kind of add a little rounding through the spine, maybe even curling your chin down towards your torso. And if you're in your chair and you're feeling any forward momentum, feel free to hold on to the back of your chair or the seat, adding just a little extra stability there. Great job. With our next inhale, roll the spine up to straight. We'll take hands on either side of our knees and bring them back through center. And then we're gonna go into a hero or half heroes pose. So if you're in the chair, you're gonna do half hero. You're gonna slide to the right, take that right foot back, and then start to take the left foot over just a little bit to add a little balance and stability. If you're on the mat, you're welcome to bring a block under your hips or any other props, but maybe even tuck your toes a little to get a stretch through the bottom of the feet. If that feels too intense, you can always untuck those toes. Great job. Now, no matter where you're at, we're going to start by taking our hands at a shoulder height. Take them out wide to a T, and then flip the palms down. Go ahead and curl the fingertips in so your thumbs are pointing forward. And then go ahead and bring those hands in front of you at shoulder height. The thumbs out and the hands and fingers are in a fist. We're going to work on our muscles around our eyes a little bit today. So we'll take in our gaze and stare at our thumbs. With your next inhale, without moving your head, allow your thumbs to rise until you can't follow them with your eyes anymore, and then pause at the top. And then as you exhale, let the thumbs come down together, following them with your gaze. They come to the lowest point of your vision, or a lower point. And then start to follow that breath. Inhale to bring it up, follow with your eyes. Exhale, down, follow with your eyes. Being mindful to really work on keeping your head as straight, your neck neutral as you can. Great job. Next time your fingers and hands are down, go ahead and release them to your lap. All right, inhale, bring the right fist and thumb up. This time, turn the thumb up. We're gonna take circles with our arms as big and wide as we can. And just like before, we're not moving our head, our neck, but we're following it with our gaze of our eyes. And you can move fast or slow. Next time your finger is up high, pause, and then start to reverse that circle. Next time your hand is low, pause and release. Inhale, second side. Oh. And if we're in the chair, let's go ahead and switch over to that left side, taking that left foot back before we start the second side. Again, you can go fast or slow. Going in one direction for about 3 to 5 rounds of breath. Following the thumb with your eyes. Keeping the head still. And then next time you're at the top, reverse your circles. All right, go ahead and release. If you're wearing glasses, go ahead and set them to the side for just a moment. We're gonna take our hands, we're gonna start to rub them together vigorously. So vigorously that you create a lot of heat in between those hands. And once they have a little bit of heat in them, you feel like they can't take any more heat or can't create any more friction, go ahead and bring the palms of your hands to your eyes, letting your eyes close. And the heat and warmth, go ahead and relax all those muscles we just stretched out. One more breath there. Exhale to release your hands. You can put your glasses back on. Thank you Go ahead and let's bring our right hand down by our right hip. And then we'll circle the left hand up and over, taking it into a side bend. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale, go ahead and twist towards your right. Exhale to release, come back through center. If you're taking half heroes, switch to the other side for just one more moment. Going back to that first side. We're gonna bring that left hand down by our left hip. Inhale, right hand up and over. Inhale to come through center. Exhale, twist to the right, or to the left, sorry. Beautiful job. Inhale to come back through center. And then exhale, let's go ahead and come back to the center of our space into a seated position on the floor or in the chair. We're going to start to send that right leg out long and to the side. You can have a bend in the knee or press through the heel. If you're seated in the chair, you're going to take your left leg just a little bit more to that left side. And on the floor, you can tuck it into your inner thigh if you'd like. We're all going to inhale. We're going to start to twist towards that extended leg. And then with your next exhale, begin to walk your hands down your leg. You can reach it all the way to your toes. You can hold anywhere on your leg. If you like using a strap, you can even wrap the strap around your foot if you would like. And if you're in the chair and you feel that forward momentum, again, hold on to the chair behind you. Give yourself a little extra stability there versus holding onto your leg. Your next exhale, see if you can sink it a little deeper, softening some portion of your body so that you can soften into the stretch. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up to a straight spine, and let's switch sides. Extending that left leg out long, and either walking your right leg further in the chair or tucking it if you're on the floor. We straighten our spine. Exhale as we turn towards that leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, find your forward fold over that extended leg. Beautiful job. All right, let's inhale to bring it back through center. And then we're going to do a candlelight flow. So if you're on the mat, go ahead, come back into your hero's pose. And that's where we'll start. You're doing chair poses. We're actually going to come, so we have the tall part of our chair far away from us and the short part of our chair closest to us. And we're going to come standing in the middle about, so if you could hinge forward, you could not only touch the seat in a tabletop, but you could extend your arms to the top, almost like a downward dog. All right. In this flow, we're going to start by, if we're on our hero's pose, come up to standing on your knees. Again, you can tuck those toes for more stability. And no matter where we're at, let's inhale, start to circle those arms up and overhead. Reach them up high. Beautiful job. Feel that length and extension. Our next exhale circles the hands down for a tabletop. So bringing them to the mat or to the chair. As you land in your tabletop, begin to drop your belly and lift your gaze, cow pose. Beautiful job. Now, inhale, rise back up, arms overhead. Next exhale, we're going to find a child's pose. So if you're in the standing position, you're gonna bring your hands onto the higher part of your chair. Let your head dip between your arms and bend through the knees really deeply so that you feel a nice stretch throughout your backside. On the floor, we'll do a similar pose, but instead of the high part of the chair, you're bringing your hands down to the mat, extending the arms. Beautiful job. Now with our next inhale, find your tabletop. Exhale, cow. Inhale, root through your knees and through your feet, grounding as we inhale to rise up, hands circling overhead. We're going to start to add all these moves together, creating that flow. Inhale, lift hands a little higher. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale through tabletop to find cow. Inhale, root to rise. Tall mountain. All right, continue this cycle at your own pace. And if you get it a little backwards, it's fine. I'll walk you through it just a few more times. Tall mountain. Child's pose. Through tabletop as you inhale. Exhale, cow. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, child's. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, cow. I'm going to stop speaking and just let you find a little moment, a little present moment with yourself as you move through breath to movement. Again, not paying attention to how the body may have felt yesterday, not noticing how it felt this morning, but instead knowing how you feel as you make these moves in this moment. Last cycle. And we'll end in a child's pose. One last beautiful stretch through the side body. And then as you're ready, releasing and finding your way up into a standing position. Your mountain pose. Beautiful job. Take a moment here to just notice how the body is feeling after all that movement. All right. Inhale, circle arms up and overhead. We're going to drop our right hand either to our right hip or maybe the chair. And then we're going to step our left foot back, just about a foot, coming onto the ball of the foot and lifting our heel. As we inhale, we're going to start to take that left hand up and over. Inhale through center. Step that back foot in. Switch sides. Right foot goes back. Right hand comes down, or left hand comes down. And as we inhale, right hand comes up and over. Great job. Inhale, step it back through mountain pose. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, bring your hands to a prayer. Slice through the air in front of you as you start to hinge into your forward fold. Keep a nice gentle bend in your knees. Your hands can come to a prop or the floor of your choice. Top of the head reaching towards the floor. Their next inhale, start to lift up halfway, lengthening the spine. And then step your right foot towards center. Step your left foot behind it, crisscrossing it. You can have the feet touching, or you can have some space in between it, depending on what feels better in your body. And then begin to walk your hands over to the left side of your space. Lovely twist there. Exhale to bring hands through center. Release the back foot to center. Switch sides. So now the right foot comes behind the left. And then start to walk your hands to the right side of your space. Beautiful job. Come back through center, uncross the feet, and hinge into your forward fold. Drop the hips and take a slow roll, coming all the way up to standing. Great job, mountain pose. Let's step the right foot back. Turn the toes just to the side a little bit, almost like a warrior one, but we're gonna turn our hips forward. We're gonna keep both our legs straight because we're actually taking a pyramid variation. And with our next inhale, bring your hands to a prayer. Now we're gonna have the option of keeping our hands here in a prayer, an option of bringing your hands to a prop in front of you, or for the most challenge, bring your hands alongside your ears. Your next exhale, you're going to start to engage from the core and start to hinge forward. But instead of coming all the way forward, we're going to stop at that halfway point. Beautiful job. Really engage your core here. Inhale, bring it back up to a straight spine. Take your left hand, the same one as that front leg, bring it back by your hip, or maybe start to slide it down that back leg and sweep your right hand over to the left side. Inhale to bring it back through center. Exhale, start your hinge. Pause at halfway. We're going to hold for another 3, 2, and on the 1, you can release into your pyramid pose over that front leg. Great job. Inhale to bring it back up tall. And let's step the right foot in. As you're ready, step the left foot back, setting up for your pyramid on this side. And this time, maybe you try a different variation with the arms. Again, hands at prayer, on a prop, or maybe lifted alongside the ears. As we exhale, begin to hinge over that front leg. But again, we're pausing at that halfway point, keeping our gaze straight down, engaging our core to keep us right here. Beautiful job. Inhale to bring it straight spine. Right hand now comes over, left hand comes down to your hips, or maybe slides down the right leg. And then start to swoop that left hand over towards the right side. So it's a little bit of a revolved twist here through the back body. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale, start your hinge over that front leg, controlling it, pausing at halfway. You're doing great for 3, for 2, and at 1, release into your pyramid pose over that front leg. Great job. Inhale to bring it back up. Mountain pose. Step it in. Mountain. Beautiful job. All righty, we'll go back to side 1. Right leg comes back, but this time we're going to open it into a warrior 2. So the toes are going to go all the way to the side. The hips are opening to the side. We're bending through that front leg, and we're sending the arms long. We're going to do a little bit of a flow here. So I recommend having something in front of you, whether it's your chair at either height or your block. We'll end this sequence in a half moon pose. So you want something just in front of your knee by maybe a foot or so. Our next inhale, start to let your front hand come up and circle your back hand down. Really bending into that front knee, and you're doing great. Inhale, circle through your warrior two, and then bring your front hand or elbow to your prop or your knee as you circle your back hand up towards the ceiling or alongside your ear. Be mindful of that back hip. It likes to pop up, but we're working to keep it down. Great job. Inhale, cycle through your warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Reverse your warrior. Inhale to bring it through, warrior two. Foot straight, both legs. Take your front leg and maybe bring it back just a little bit. I like that in my body, but it's up to you. And then start to pinwheel your front hand to the prop of your choice, stacking wrist and shoulders in a straight line. And then if it feels good for you, maybe start to play with lifting those back toes up to hip height. They can just be lifted a couple inches off the floor. They could be resting on a prop of your choice. Keep a bend in your standing leg. Great job. Go ahead and set that back foot down. Inhale, 5-pointed star, toes point to the side. Exhale, bring hands through a prayer. Go into a little shallow squat. Beautiful job with the flow on one side. We're going to go ahead and turn to the other side. Feel free to set up your prop in the other direction if you'd like. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, warrior to the other side. So opposite knee is bent. Maybe you're facing the back of your mat. It's all good. Turn those toes out to the side. Squeeze those thighs. All the normal things we normally talk about in warrior two. You're doing great. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Keep that front knee bent this first one. Exhale to move through warrior two. Find side angle. Hand or elbow to knee or prop. Back hand circles overhead. Inhale through warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Reverse your warrior. Exhale, keep the legs straight, but bring your arms back to that T. And then set up for your half moon pose. So if you need to bring that front knee back a little bit, have a prop in front of you a little bit. Start to pinwheel the arms so the hands are resting on the prop of your choice. Start to stack wrist and shoulders in a straight line. And then maybe start to let that back foot fly. A little or a lot. And it can always be a great option if you want to bring your hips to a surface like a wall to give you a little more support here. Keep a bend in that standing knee. Great job. With as much grace as you can. Bring that back foot down, 5-pointed star. Exhale, shallow squat, hands at prayer. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, let's step to mountain in front of your mountain. Great job. We're going to do just a little bit of balance challenge now. If you prefer to use a strap, or have a wall behind you or next to you, or a chair, all these great things are welcome. We'll come into our mountain pose. We're going to start to lift that left heel. Maybe lifting the knee, bending at the knee. Maybe we start to bring that knee up towards hip height. You can use your strap around your knee or around your thigh. You can even bring that foot onto a steady prop if that would feel better in your body. But we're starting to find a spot on the floor that's not moving as we take this standing half step. Beautiful job. Now, if you're holding around the knee, maybe bring your hands behind your thigh and start to send that leg along for standing full staff. Point and flex the toes. Great job. Exhale. Go ahead and bring that foot down to the mat. Take any movement you need. Inhale, shift sides, start to reach that right knee into a bend. Lifting the heel, maybe lifting it off the mat. Holding anywhere that feels good. Or bringing it onto a prop. Keep your standing knee bent. Your spine straight, your shoulders relaxing down the spine. And your gaze on something that doesn't move. All right, if you're holding in front of the knees, maybe bring the hands behind the thigh. We're going to start to send the leg out long. Staff. Beautiful job. Exhale, release it back down onto the mat. Alrighty, we're going to go back to first side. We're going to extend just a little bit more in through this option. So as we inhale, start to lift the knee. And then let's see what it takes to take that standing staff out to the side. Bending, opening through the hip. Great job. Bring it back through center. Now here's where you're welcome to stay with the bent knee version, or if you'd like to move into that straight leg version of standing staff, send the leg out long. Just like with the bent knee version, I'm going to send that leg out to the side. Great job. Bring it back through center. Release the foot to the ground. We're going to switch sides, so feel free to make any adjustments, any movements. Inhale, start to lift the knee, opposite knee. Take it out to the side. This is a good Captain Morgan pose. Feel like a pirate here. Inhale to bring it back through center. Again, you can keep that leg bent, or if you'd like to take the leg extended version, start to extend it out to standing staff. And then once again, take it out to the side. Beautiful balance today. Balance is great because we truly never know what's going to happen when we're doing balance poses. Go ahead and release. Feel free to take any movement that you'd like. We're going to go ahead and come in front of our chair for taking chair poses at the end. We're going to take our feet as wide as the feet of the chair, the knees pointing out to the side. And if you're taking this on the floor, maybe you set up with a block underneath you or a wall behind you. Feet about chair distance apart, heels, toes out, heels in. We inhale, we're going to circle up for that 5-pointed star. Exhale, bring your hands down to a prayer and start to sink into your squat. Go ahead and take it a little bit deeper, maybe hovering just over the chair or just over the block, or having that back pressed up against a flat surface can be a great support. And then see if you can slowly soften, going a little bit deeper, sitting on the block. Chair, still getting that nice stretch through the hips and the thighs. You're doing a great job. One last breath here. And then let's take our right hand either to our leg or maybe to a prop or the floor by our right leg. And we're gonna twist our squat, lifting that left hand up behind us. Inhale through your squat of choice. Exhale, twist to the opposite side. Beautiful job. All righty, go ahead and come all the way down to your chair, releasing open legs down to the ground. And we're going to take a fish pose here. So if you're on the mat, go ahead and bring one of your blocks to where your head would be. And bring one of your blocks about halfway down the spine. So the space in between is where your shoulder blades will be. The top block is supporting your head, the bottom one, your mid back. Now, if blocks are a little aggressive in your body today, you're always welcome to use a bolster or a pillow here. We'll go ahead and come down so that we're rolling over the props. And you can have those blocks at any of the height settings, depending on how deep you want to go into your fish pose. From our chair, we're going to take a prop of our choice, maybe a pillow or a bolster. We're going to bring it onto the back of our chair. We're going to make sure our hips are forward and our shoulders are back. Now, to get a little more of that fish pose yourself, you're welcome to bring your hands so they're over the back of your chair, around the side, or holding on to anywhere that feels like it's really opening and arching the spine here. And then we'll all start to come back into a butterfly pose or cobbler's pose, since it is reclined here. So the toes maybe come together, the feet come together, and the knees open wide. If you're on the mat, your hands could maybe be out in a T or a cactus. Another great option is to interlace the fingers, let the elbows go wide, and the hands support the head, whether you're on the mat or in the chair. And this will also open up through that heart space just a little bit more, arching the spine wherever you're at. Notice your breathing. Are you trying hard to be here? And if so, can you soften? Can you ask yourself how you can make this feel sturdier, more comfortable, more like gravity is opening these places in your body with gentle breath time? And simply make any adjustments so that you can come into that calmness of not trying, but instead softening into this beautiful back bend, this heart opener. Beautiful. All right. Let's go ahead and circle our hands down by our knees. And just like before, we push our legs towards constructive rest, releasing the butterfly. Roll to one side so that you can come off of your blocks or props, moving them out of the way. If you're using just a pillow behind you in the chair, though, it can stay. And then roll back into your reclined position, straight back this time. Go ahead and separate the feet as wide as the mat or wider than hip distance. And start to roll through the hips, coming into that windshield wiper, letting one knee come to center and then the other. Maybe even exaggerating it a little bit, widen the feet more if that felt good for you. You could let the hips pop to one side as you turn. Beautiful job. All right, let's go ahead and find just a little bit of stillness. And from here, we're gonna take a legs up the wall variation. So if you're on the mat, you can bring your feet up onto any piece of furniture or a wall. You can be as close with your hips or as far away from the prop as you feel comfortable. And have the legs straight or the knees bent. And if we're taking this from our chair, we have a couple of options here. Now, if you have a couch or a chair nearby that you can lay in and put your feet up, that's always a great, easy option. Another option is to bring yourself across from a prop. It could be anything from another piece of furniture to a wall. And start to work your ankles so they're higher than your heart. So they don't have to be up super high. We're just trying to get our feet and ankles a little higher than our heart is. And again, those knees can be bent or legs straight. And you're still in that little bit of a reclined position in the chair. So your hips are forward and your shoulders are back. Now, if you'd like, you can add props here. Sometimes it can be nice to cover the eyes or maybe add a little weight to your belly or a blanket. Allow yourself to get really interested in this present moment, in this present breath. We're still not changing it. We're not taking any patterns or any specialty breaths. We're just noticing that full cycle from inhale, maybe noticing the temperature, following it as it goes down the windpipe, expanding the lungs, the rib cage, maybe even the abdomen. And then as you exhale, follow it back out, feeling the deflation of the torso, the hunching of the shoulders even, the subtle movements between the shoulder blades. And then feeling the change of temperature in the air as it comes out. Maybe even noticing the gentle breeze from your nose or your mouth. Allow yourself to make each breath a little calmer, a little softer, more intentional into this present moment. As always, legs up the wall is such an amazing pose. You are welcome to stay here throughout our final meditation. But if this does not feel like a resting pose for you for any reason today, feel free to start to make your way into your final resting position. Taking the feet down, making any final movements you might want to make, any final adjustments so that you can start to relax even more on command. Feel free to add socks or sweaters or anything else that would help you feel nice and cozy in this moment. Maybe wrap a blanket around you. Begin to find stillness in your body. Let yourself settle into the earth or the props beneath you. Feel the weight of your body, supported, stable. Allow your hands to rest softly. Your face starts to soften. The breath slows down. Notice that breath moving in and out. No need to change it. Just like before, we're simply watching as we breathe in and breathe out. Letting go of any tension or worries, and truly allowing yourself to settle into this space. Maybe even inviting a sense of calm or ease. As we rest here together, let us start to turn our attention inward. Our minds are constantly seeking to understand and to make sense of the world around us. We think we know what will bring us peace or happiness. And yet, despite our efforts, maybe true peace evades us. Our thoughts can be a labyrinth, leading us in circles, trying to think our way into a state of calm. We sometimes believe that if we think hard enough, we can figure it all out. Every answer, every solution, every next step. The mind works tirelessly to shape the world into something it can understand. But notice how even now, thoughts may arise, trying to grasp this moment, to explain it, even to label it. Now let's shift our focus to the present moment. Once again, feeling the rise and fall of your breath or the sensations throughout your body. Maybe even noticing sounds around you. Notice how in this moment, there is a stillness that exists beyond thought. The stillness is always present, waiting for us to return to it. As you breathe, can you allow yourself to fully inhabit this moment? With each exhale, releasing any need to understand or control it, but instead to simply be here now, in this space of awareness, letting go of the desire to know or to embrace the simplicity of simply being. What if we didn't need to understand? What if we didn't need to know? Can you allow yourself to feel what it's like to simply be here? Breathing, resting, alive. No explanations, no solving, no searching. Simply now. The mind may search for a solid ground, for a certain certainty. But the present moment doesn't offer that. Instead, it offers something softer, even freer. The openness of not knowing. Notice how the air feels on your skin, the sounds around you, and the rhythm of your breath. These are not things to figure out. Instead, we can simply experience them. Allow your breath to guide you deeper into this space. Inhale, allowing yourself to feel the fullness of this moment. Exhale, releasing the need to grasp or hold on. There's a kind of peace in surrendering to not knowing, and letting go of the mind's need to control or to understand. This isn't giving up. Instead, it's softening. Feel into that space, the space where you don't need to have the answers, where nothing needs to make sense. And you let yourself rest in this mystery, in this unfolding. Each new breath is new. Each no moment is new. Notice how freeing it can be to not know, but instead to simply feel, breathe, and be. Take this moment to reflect on the idea that in reality we know nothing at all. This can seem unsettling at first, but within this acceptance lies a profound freedom. When we let go of the need to know, we open ourselves to the vast possibilities of the unknown. We become free to experience life as it unfolds, moment by moment. Can you breathe in the sense of freedom, allowing it to fill your entire being? As you exhale any resistance, embracing the beauty of not knowing and the limitless potential it brings. In the state of openness, we find true peace and presence. Savor the stillness and the freedom of this moment. Exhaling slowly, feeling a sense of peace or even connection. Now begin to deepen your breath. Maybe even taking the deepest breath of your day so far. Knowing that as we finish our practice today, you don't need to have it all figured out. You can simply be with what is, and in that, you are free. Gently start to invite movement back into your body. Small movements in your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes, coming back into the space with me. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great week ahead, however it turns out. Thank you so much. Until next time.